welcome everybody to this course on how to get reviews on various platforms. So in terms of when you should go get reviews, how, what timing and how to ask, that is a whole other course of its own. I'll give a few tips that I know, but otherwise, this is mainly just going across a few platforms, like how to ask for review, like how to physically ask for reviews through command on your Zillow page, on your Google business page, on Facebook, on your Facebook business page, any others that Talbert also has. We'll go through all of those and just kind of walk through how to get it. And a lot of them are really easy, so this may not take a whole hour, but we're happy to answer questions that come in. And like I said, we'll probably throw in kind of some of the information that we know is helpful from our experience. Which one do we want to start with? Do we want to start with commands, just to go to KW?
Yeah, let's do it.
You want to take that one?
All right, so for command, your agent sites.
I'll unmute myself so you can hear directly. Your agent sites does have two widgets able to set up a landing page or a website page, an agent site page to show off your reviews and also to get reviews. They're not pre-set up things like the About Me and the About Us, but they're pretty simple to go in and set up. So let me share my screen on this other one.
The Scott Roy Marketing website 201 goes over how to do that.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Perfect. So you can look there.
Yes.
I haven't actually gone to it, but if this doesn't do you good, that's an excellent place and you'll be able to go back. Scott Roy Marketing has just about everything you can need. So here we are on our agent sites page.
Okay.
And so if you don't have one set up, it's as simple as create a new page. You can do it as a standalone landing page. This would mostly be used for collecting reviews. So you just send it out to your database. If you don't want it to be actually a page on your website that random people can go see, you can have a standalone page that'll you can just send out to collect reviews. So that you can send out maybe post, whatever. Excuse me?
Do you guys recommend one over the other, a separate page versus on your, will it be your About page?
I kind of recommend putting them together, but it also depends on just what you want. So it's not necessarily a wrong answer situation.
How would you do them both?
So can you see my screen? We are in the page editor. So we have testimonies carousel, testimonial list, and a testimonial capture form.
Yes.
If you go to the single landing page, the list and the carousel are not there. So
Okay.
you can really set up the single one to show off the testimonials. But all it is a simple drag and drop. Populates in the widget, and then you can drag and drop the other one, and it populates that one in too. Once we're done, we'll go to configure widgets. See the testimonials, so we can select what they want to show, enter a headline.
What's the difference between the carousel and the collection widget?
The collection is asking people for a widget. So it's tell us about.
And the carousel is necessary to display it?
Yeah, the carousel will display already received reviews.
Okay, so you need both of them.
Excuse me?
You need both of those widgets in order to make it work.
Not necessarily. You can have one page just for showing off the reviews and one page just for collecting the reviews, or you can put them together. They work separately, they work independently. You can structure it how you'd like.
Okay, so can you explain, that's what I don't understand, is where one will show up versus the other.
Yeah, so you have two different parts of information. One is the review collection. And that's
Yeah.
where the client will come in and they will write their review. So
Right.
that page you're setting up only as where they're actually going to write the review. So it asks them the questions that they need to answer, and then it has a block where they can write their thoughts, right? So that's the testimonial capture.
Okay,
The testimonial carousel or display is once that review has been captured, then it will automatically show what has been captured, right? So if I go to your website and you have the testimonial capture and the testimonial carousel, and I write Sean McKay, I go to the testimonial capture, I write Sean McKay, 5 stars, wonderful agent, did everything professionally and is spectacular, you should choose her. Then
sure.
when you have the testimonial carousel widget activated, right, and it can either be on the same page or a separate page. It can be on its own page apart from the collection. Okay, then once I fill it out on the capture, it'll display it on the carousel.
And is that carousel a tab on my website, a page within my website that says like?
If you set it up that way, it will be. So you have the option, on the websites to include something like this either as a standalone page or within your website. You just have to set that up.
Okay, and I guess when I'm doing that, it will ask me how I want it.
It depends on how you set it up. So right now we have both of the things on the same page. We've written them down on the same sheet. We can also just delete this top one and then just have a review gathering page. And so here is the widget, what it's called.
Yeah.
To get reviews. So tell us what you think. Thank you for being a valued client. Please leave us a review. And then first address, fill that out. So you can set it up as just having this to get the review. And then
where will it
display the review, which is up here in a different place.
If I do just that, where does it display? That's what I'm not clear.
Sean, let's let Talbert finish up what he's doing on the page and we'll show the example.
Okay. Thanks.
All right, so we are publishing it now.
So as you can see, he's added it to the agent site page. These are not standalone pages. They are together. And I'll note here, so he made a separate tab on his website that will have the reviews, right? Now, you could actually, because it's a widget you can add a review carousel or the testimonial capture to any of these pages. You can put it on the About Me, you can put it on every page, to have down at the bottom, a carousel of reviews so that anytime a potential client is on your page, they're always seeing like, hey, Sean did a fantastic job. So because these are widgets, they are not designed necessarily to be their own pages.
Okay,
They're part of a page. So you can actually have a testimonial capture or a testimonial carousel on any page.
okay.
They're only part of it.
The page is not live yet, but that's annoying.
Sure does
Taking
look
a minute.
nice.
But does that kind of answer your questions?
Yeah, no, I did say, got it, thank you. Yeah, so
Okay.
I guess going through it, it will be clear where I can designate I want to see those reviews.
And you can, it's just like, it's a little tool, the carousel, so you can put it on like on your website where you choose. So you can have a specific page just for this. You can also put it at the bottom of the About Me page.
Okay,
So there are many different ways to structure it.
thanks.
Just how you choose to. Since I'm already sharing my screen, shall we move on to Google?
Sure.
Perfect. All right, stop 2 is Google. If you don't, you should have a Google My Business page. So whenever you search for restaurants, places, if you search in Google Maps, whenever their businesses show up or whatever shows up, those are Google My Business pages. So I'll give you a quick example. So 2 Blokes, Ghost Monkey, Hobcaw, Another Broken Egg, Waffle House, Chick-fil-A. These are all my business pages. So you yourself should have one set up. We have a bunch of people set up for Bell Hall. I mean, not for Bell Hall, for the office. And if you'll see, oh, well, since it's mine, it's my work. So a Google My Business page, it tells Google about your business so you can stay at the front of mind, so that you can have that. Everybody uses Google. It's the first place they go to, so you can be there too. Setting up a Google My Business page, it's a different class, but it's not hugely labor intensive. But once you get it up, you go to it by clicking these 3 dots, and then there is a My Business page within the account that it's associated for. Getting reviews for it is very easy. If you just scroll down a little bit, they have share review form. If you copy and paste this link and send it to anybody, it goes exactly to a page that will ask them for a review connected to your My Business account. If you yourself go to it, since you're already logged into your own account, won't exactly go to it, but it goes to it, makes them sign up and write a review. They sign in with their Gmail account, they write the review, it's there for everybody to see. So whenever somebody Googles Sean McKay, Talbot Barger, on the right on Google, it'll be there, little 5 stars. So once we do that, we can go to the reviews, see them in here. You can also reply to them too, which is neat, until it replies directly to the people. Those replies are also visible to the public. So you can look at them, say, hey, thanks, Raul. Appreciate the nice words. It was a pleasure working with you. But in order to get the reviews, it's real easy. Just scroll down a little bit and then share review form. You can text that out to clients after you get under contract, after you get closed. You can set up an email template with a bunch of different review places. But this form is one quick link to send out to anybody for them to write a review directly on your Google page. Any
How do you-
questions with that?
How do you know if you set up a Google page, a business page, Google My Business?
Google search your name.
Also, if you have, so let's see, so this is my main account and it's the one that I have my Google page on.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe I have one on this. So I opened up my Google on a account that I don't have one. So I don't have one account or my business set up on this account. And so it gives me to this page and asks me to set it up. So if you are on your Google account and you click these three dots and click here, and it doesn't go to a page like this.
And I don't have one set up. Okay.
Yeah, then you probably don't have one set up.
Okay.
And Google your name or your name real estate, go to Google Maps and search for it. If nothing comes up, you likely don't have one either.
Okay.
Within our market center, Jeremy Chapman of Palmetto Mortgage helped people set that up maybe like 2 years ago. It's been a little bit since we've covered it like that. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah, what's interesting is I'm looking at my business. Sorry.
But I was going to say, Sean, that it's setting up your Google business page can be a little bit of a process because they actually confirm your address by mailing something to you and a number of other kind of checks to make sure you're legitimate. So you would probably remember if you set up a business page, a Google business page.
Yeah, and I see that I have one under Real Charleston Homes. Is that you guys going to it?
Well,
Yes.
yeah. So whether or not you set it up as a Google business page, you at least we Google searched you.
It looks like I have a Google business page for Real Charleston Homes, right?
Correct.
And when I click on my business through Google, it says I even have a duplicate. So not to belabor this, or sidetrack on this, but I need one for Sean McKay, it sounds like, right?
Looks like you might have one.
You might actually have one for Sean McKay as well. And not necessarily, you can set it up for Real Charleston Homes, or you could set it up for Sean McKay, however you choose to do business. If you want Real Charleston Homes to be the headliner of it, then use that. If you want it to do to be Sean McKay, then you can use that.
Okay. So
Walmart doesn't have Sam Walton as their Google business. They have Walmart. Like Amazon doesn't have just like Jeff Bezos. So if you want the focus to be on Real Charleston Homes, you can set it up like that. If you want it to be Sean McKay, you can set it up like that.
Okay, so it looks like I need to look into this. Okay, but the reviews thing, looked pretty easy, to your point.
Yep. All it is go in here.
But we do have
a review form, send it out.
Okay, and nothing's changed the last couple of years. We still, to get the reviews on all the different platforms, we need to have the client do it several times. Is that right?
No, it shouldn't have to do it several times. With Google, they do they do some checks on it, so it doesn't always show up immediately. So if somebody reviews it, or if somebody submits a review, it's probably not going to populate to your Google account right away. They have to do some background, not necessarily background checks, but they do a little bit to make sure it's not like spam or fraudulent or anything. They don't go and check tax records or anything, but just to make sure that everything looks right on it. But it does take some time, but once they've done it once, it should be done. Just has to get past a few checks.
Okay.
But you don't have to do anything with that.
I will note that the reply button on the review is very helpful, because if somebody does write you a bad review and you want to try to fight it with Google, they only give you a drop down of a few choices, maybe about 5 to 7 choices that are radio buttons of why you're arguing the review, and you don't have a chance to like write in details or specifics or anything like that. So it's important to keep an eye on your reviews, reply to them as quickly as possible, especially the bad ones, and to kind of mitigate any damage that they might bring. And and then just make sure you're clicking on that correct radio button that makes the most sense. And then, because what happens is you decide that you're going to argue the point, you press the button, and then Google, either an algorithm or an actual person, I'm not sure which one, will decide whether or not it's true, and then you can't do anything else about it once you've tried that one time.
That's the reply button. That's it.
Yeah, so you want to use the reply. But
okay.
in order to argue a review, you'll have to go into manage reviews, and then
Okay.
and then you have to click on the review itself right there, and then that's your response. Yeah, and then flag as inappropriate is what it is. So.
Okay.
Questions with Google reviews?
Well, what I was asking actually was, does the client have to put a review in Google, a review in Command, and then a review in Facebook? Is it still 3 separate?
There are 3 separate things. They don't communicate with each other.
Okay.
So if you want a review on Google, a review on Command, a review on Facebook, a review on Zillow, a review on Realtor.com, any of those, you have to ask for each specific one, unless you ask them permission to like copy and paste. But especially with Facebook and Zillow, like you can always go in and fill in the information on command for them.
Okay.
But with Zillow and Facebook, because it connects to their account, they have to do it.
Okay.
Facebook, Zillow, Google, they have to be logged in for it to work.
Okay, so the only one we could help them out time-wise is through Command.
Correct.
Okay.
You can set it up one way to link your Google reviews to your Facebook, so Google pulls from Facebook, but that's a whole different sort of ball game.
Yeah, in terms of the tips of everything, that's towards the end here. Let's get through the.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. On to, I go on to Facebook.
Meantime.
I actually have it. So I did it. Okay. We'll go to Facebook. I will share my screen. Samantha needs to make me a host again because I got disconnected. And she's not here. While Talbert does that. All right. I'll do some of the tips that way. Okay. So one tip, if you're trying to get them to leave a review on multiple platforms, is let them know that copy and paste is their friend. That'll help them save some time. So just whenever you let them know, just say, hey, pro tip, one way to be able to leave a review on both and save you some time is write out the review in the dialog box on each, on Facebook, copy that, with by highlighting it, pressing the right click and copying it. All right, okay? So copy the dialogue that's in the box, then right click it and copy it, right? So then they can send it, saying we're starting at Google. You wrote, I wrote in Sean McKay's awesome. Then I copy that, I click send or submit. And then I go over to Facebook, follow the link that you sent me. I go to Facebook, I do the same thing. I just paste it there, click send. I go over to your command page. I click, I put that in the dialog box, click paste,
Okay.
send. It's just one way to easily get everybody to go to multiple times. Really though, make sure in your email or text or however you're sending requests that you put the one that you want them to do the most first, because that's the one that they're probably going to go do. So where you do most of your business or where most of the people are going to find you, make sure that that's your priority. The others are going to be great, but make sure that you have the one that you use the most, the priority, because you don't use all of them. There's probably one that you use more often than not. Okay, I'm ready to get in there. Let's see. There we go. Okay, you're gonna go, forget sometimes how to get there. Where am I? There you go. So you'll find your business page. Go and go.
Google has become very slow, I think, in its screening.
Yeah. Gotta be able to. Then you'll actually see reviews right here.
Okay.
Right here in the middle. Just click on that. And what you're going to find is you want to share. Now I got to remember it. All you actually have to do is click on the page up at the top. And if you send that to somebody, it actually gives them the ability to just write a review. So once they sign in, you can actually, once they signed in, they can actually just, when my phone rings, I get muted.
Yeah.
Okay. So once, all you have to do is copy and paste your review page. Okay.
Okay.
Once you do that, people will have the ability to create a review from there. So if I signed in, unfortunately, I can't sign in. So I'd have to, because I would sign in as myself and then I can't do it. But Facebook's very easy. You can also, I'll note that Facebook, when you sign into that and you can look at reviews, and it's easier. Let me look at it from my page. It's easy to comment here too. So you can click comment, you can like it as well, which I don't know. Different people might give you different opinions on that. I'm not gonna like the review. Maybe I will. I don't know if it means that, I don't know what it means if I like a review. You can actually also find support report recommendation. Where is it? I know you can go in and you can argue these as well, which is important. The difference between, there you go. So you can report theirs as well, and you can actually talk about why, and then you can, why it's not appropriate, and then you can actually write a little, it'll give you a box that will let you write in why this review is not appropriate.
Where did you click to get to report?
The little 3 dots
Okay.
on the side.
Got it.
And
Okay.
it's find support or report recommendation, and then you'll click that. I'm not going to do it in case it
Right.
does anything, and I don't want
Okay.
to. But kind of like the others, it's a good idea to respond to your reviews and give them thank them, and then you can comment on any that, on any information that you might need to comment on. Any questions about Facebook? That's a really easy one.
Yeah, can I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
Let me see. So 2 quick ones. Well, first, I really wanted to know, like, how you said you create an email to actually promote getting reviews.
Sure.
Can you just offer like the best resource, best practices on how to set that up? Would that be Canva or a different resource?
I mean, I just send an email.
You know how some people have some really, good emails with some good graphics in it, or pictures, and it just looks really professional.
Yeah, you can use Canva if you want to throw in some pictures. You can also use. We do have, through commands, you have the bulk email template.
Okay.
Or you can just create an email template through that, which is kind of like Canva, but you don't have to necessarily pay for anything.
Okay. That's good.
But I've found, for my reviews that I get, a simple email with a short body, just asking, hey, and doing it after a positive experience, like Talbert mentioned before, right after you get under contract, if they're happy with your negotiations for repairs, when you get the clear to close from the lender a couple of days before closing, hey, if you go to all of your closings, that there's those 10, 15-minute intervals where the attorney has stepped out to go get, to submit forms to the lender and get updates. That's the time to have it on your phone and just send them the link there. You can text it to them, or you can shoot them an email right there and you're talking to them, and you can ask them in person.
Right.
It's the same kind of times that when you're asking for a referral, you're asking for a review as well. And so it's a good idea to send it at any point. And the simpler, the better, actually, because you're
right.
Maybe I would probably think for myself, and I don't have any, I'm just thinking about it. Probably the best time to send the most polished, like the one you're talking about, with like a graphic, is probably after you've closed, something that's going to stand out a little bit more. But during that process, just a simple email.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Because you're also able to say, like, congratulations, like, you're under contract. If you're happy with me so far, can you leave me a review?
Yeah, that's a good idea. So one other question is, like, how you'll set this all up and everything is great, but then you go about business and you forget to go back in and look at reviews and make a comment in case something bad comes up. Is there a way to link it to your text so that you can see when a comment comes in?
If you download the Google My Business app, it's not a text, but it'll send you a notification.
Okay.
Let me check and see if it sends you an email as well. Give me one quick second. But the Google My Business app does
Okay,
send
so
you a
that's
push
separate.
notification and says, hey, would you like to respond to this? And that's
Okay.
available in your favorite app store, and just sign in with your Gmail account.
Okay, that's good.
Mhm.
Then,
Facebook,
okay.
it depends on how you have, like, whenever they send their emails. So you can set up the emails. I don't know about text messages, but you can go into the settings for them to send emails for whatever, for even if like your second cousin liked a face or liked a post, you
Oh, I see
can
what you're saying.
set
Yeah.
an email for that.
You
Well-
also do have Facebook Business, the app. And so if you have a business page and you're using the Facebook Business Page app, then you'll get a notification.
So are you saying, like, if I had it on my phone, I have it on the first page, I could actually see, when you're trying to clear messages, you can see, like, up on the right.
Right.
corner. Is it something like that?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
And then, so one other question, this really is my last question. Connecting, I always have a problem, like, where's this going? Is this going to when a review comes into me, are my personal contacts going to be receiving that? And when I comment, back
Are you
to
talking
them?
about, excuse me, are you talking about on Facebook?
Yeah, Facebook Facebook
The
on
people who like your page or follow your page
right.
might
Only
get
that.
an update,
Okay.
but we never know what happens beyond the curtain in Facebook.
Okay.
So who sees it at any point is a wild guess, and it will
All right.
change tomorrow.
Okay.
So,
Good to know.
but the only people who usually will see it will get like some kind of notification. Will be somebody who likes or follows your page, and it'll be visible to anybody who goes to your page, to your
Right.
Facebook business page. But only people notified will be you and people who like your page. So
Okay.
if we're friends on Facebook, but I haven't liked your Facebook business page, I won't see it.
All right, good. Thank you for answering those.
You're welcome. For Google, if like whoever looks up your business will be able to see the reviews, they're public facing. So like if you Google, or if you go to Google Maps and look for Chick-fil-A,
Right.
and scroll down a little bit, right now they have 757 reviews with a 4.4 star rating, with all the reviews listed underneath it. The good ones, the bad ones, but I can go and look for it. And so people, if they search for your business page, they'll be able to go and see those.
Right. Good to know.
Okay. The last one we're going to show you is Zillow, mainly because it's one of the bigger areas where people search for homes. Now, even if you're not like paying for Zillow leads or a Premier agent or anything like that, you can have a Zillow agent profile that you can use and you can collect reviews on. To go do that, you're going to go to Zillow.com. You're going to have the agent hub. And I think you're just going to click on profile if you want to do that there, but I just clicked on agent hub. It brings you to the dashboard. You'll need to create a profile if you don't have one already. You'll need to log in if you haven't logged in, and you'll get there. So next, all you do is you click on your face up here and you go to profile. Did you guys see that? Because sometimes the Zoom people are on the side and it's hard to see.
Yeah.
But like, yeah. Okay. So very easy. Once you get there, you see it right here at the top, request a review. Okay. So you click on that. And then this is it allows you to actually send a letter to them, an email to them from Zillow, through Zillow, for them to leave a review. Or if you go down to the bottom, you see this little thing that says direct link. Send the client a direct link for your review form. And you click on that and you copy. Of course, it didn't let me copy. I don't know what happened there. Go. Copy. And then you'll put it in an email, text, or whatever you want. And then when is this showing up?
No.
I've got to share that screen. Okay. That's why. Then
There we go.
you'll link it in there.
Recording in progress.
I don't have a Zillow account on my own. So, so it's not helpful. Okay, so, but essentially you put in the link is specific to your page, and it'll allow them to leave a review. Now, Zillow has a policy where it also, kind of like Talbert mentioned for Google, it takes a little bit of time. It won't for it to post. So if anybody does ask you why their review didn't show up right away, it's because Zillow actually looks to verify in any way they can that you have worked with them. So their review form does even list, like, how have you worked with the person? Have you closed on a house with them? Have you not? So it's a little more detailed, so that they're trying to fight essentially the issue that Yelp has, which is anybody can write a review, having not even been to the restaurant or whatever, and then or that a agent like ourselves could go in and just make a bunch of dummy accounts and write a bunch of reviews for ourselves, that type of thing. So they want to make sure. Whereas Google, Facebook, you don't have to have done business. You can just write a review. In fact, I'll give you the warning. I have a 1-star review on my Google business page from somebody who I don't recognize at all. I have no clue. They weren't a client of mine. They weren't potential clients of mine, and they weren't like buyers of a listing that I had or anything like that, or potential buyers for a listing that I had. But they were ticked at me for some reason, and they wrote a nasty review. And they wrote it on both Facebook and Google. Facebook took down the review when I complained and said this wasn't legitimate. Google did not, and so I had to respond to it. So feel free to Google search Nate Freeman at Keller Williams, Mount Pleasant, and take a look at that bad review. And then I responded to it, and then I got 6 of my friends to go on and write reviews so that I didn't have a 1-star on Google.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
But yeah. So we have a few minutes left. Any other questions for us that we can potentially answer? Again, we are focusing today on just like the how to actually do it. Best practices for doing it. There are lots of videos on that as well. Check out like what
Can I ask your tip what you would suggest if you're not predominantly on one of those platforms? Would starting with Google be the best bet?
Choose one. Just choose one, and then start using it the most. Yeah. Like, it doesn't matter as long as that's gonna be your go-to. And maybe Google might be the best because that's what most people are gonna do. They're gonna Google search you.
That's why I was asking if Google made sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And anytime you can, flat out ask people to do all 3 or 4, or however many you use. Keep it minimum. Keep it small as possible. But I ask for Google, Facebook, and Zillow. So, and right now Talbert's looking at the bad review. You want to share your screen? You go ahead and share it. This is just giggles at this point. The class is pretty much over.
I just looked at your review on Google from that girl, Tasha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Remember when that happened, Nate? So bizarre.
Yeah. So you can see my really long response.
Yeah, you wrote her a book.
But the whole idea, I just wanted to make sure the whole point is I want to make sure anybody who came by afterwards saw that I responded to whatever her issues were. That's the goal. So that anybody who is truly looking, I mean, they can see that I have 4 other 5-star reviews, and then there's this one-star review, and I've responded to that review and the issues that she had with me. I'm disappointed.
Are you allowed to call her? Are you allowed to talk to her about it?
Yeah, I mean, that I'd be happy to talk, that I explained the issues, and you know, and I would like to you know, be able to you know, help whatever I can. But that review was not somebody who was trying to get, that was just they were mad, and
Right.
they sent a review. I did look through the profile, yeah, like Albert's doing right now, and I noticed that there was another 1-star. She only gives 5 stars or 1 star. And the other one also is one of those things where you can see it right there that you know, she wasn't getting what she wanted, and so she wrote a review.
Jeez.
That's the nature. We didn't go over Yelp because I don't know how many real estate agents are on Yelp, but you can always set up a profile and send people to Yelp. I don't know how many people look for real estate agents on Yelp, but the thing about reviews you have to remember is that people have the leeway to write whatever they want. So you're going to want to, you know, make sure that you respond to it in a professional, friendly manner, no matter what they say.
So just to go over quickly, if somebody does write a negative review and it's just not warranted, can you actually legally talk to them about it? I mean, I guess you respond to them, but if they agree and they want to take it down, is that possible, or is it kind of stamped there forever?
Yeah, you can, if you talk to them and want to and ask them to take it down, they can take it down.
Okay.
So, yeah.
But it's good to know it can happen to anyone, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. All right.
Right.
Anything else to cover, Albert?
Let me share my screen again real quick to just touch on that last point. So if you leave a review, you'll be able to view your contributions, and what Google calls them. They actually tell you how many people look at your review and stuff too, but you can go through and edit it, delete it. And so you can go through and change it up. And so if somebody asks or says a review that you think is perfect or completely off base, you can get them to edit it, get rid of it, and change it in some way.
Good. All right. Thanks for showing that part of it.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. So any final questions?
That's it for me. That was really good.
Thank you guys very much.
Yep. Have a great day.
Thank you, you guys. Thanks for joining. Have a great day, and
Take care.
let us know if you have any questions.
Okay.